do do be do be do be do. Hey, do we have music? We do. I do it myself, you know. Hey, up. That's better. Hey, we've got sound, we've got vision. Hey, we've got everything. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. So the Rust Game Studio has taken a turn. Oh yeah. We've taken a turn, alright. We're heading into the Windows 32 API. And we're going to try and create a window. Where's me coffee? Where's me coffee? Hello, viewer. Hiya. I'm a bit early. It's Sunday, and we're at 9 o'clock. Oh, right. Yeah, we are a bit early. I don't expect viewers at this time of day. So, Windows 32 API. I chatted about it in the last stream. Yeah, which was a stream. Oh yes, we're doing Delta time on our game studio. I remember. And we've got a setup. We have a setup for developing. I've set up it's develop or dev Win32 API. That's the title of this thing. I've set it up into a test bed. Oh, hello there. It's a Mad Doctor. Are you planning to come back to gaming streams? Yes. Or only after you do significant progress on Rust? I've completed the Rust learning thing. I'm now playing around with things. But if I reduce this, you might notice in the bottom left hand corner I've got something called Space Engineers. It's been requested by Sil. So I might be having another look at Space Engineers. It's been updated. And Space Engineers 2 is on the horizon as well. So yes, I will be doing gaming again. I just needed a break. I especially over the winter season. Okay, the setup. Here we go. If you've never written your own game, I'd advise you to try it. It's not hard to do. Well, actually, game programming is probably the hardest thing you can do, and this is one of the reasons why. So we've got our test main, which is connecting to two modules, the Win32 API and a window. The window we are going to try and create. Yeah, and we're going to hopefully run a main loop. If all of this goes well, we'll be transferring this into our game studio for creating games. It could take a while. So, let's have a look at window. So this is going through to the window crane. This is our window module. So our window module currently only has one file in it, and that's the window file. And we're allowing access to the window itself. That's all that is. That's nothing much. In here I've just stubbed out a structure for a window. We're wanting a window handle. So, we're getting a Win32 window. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a bit. I'm not sure we want a window handle. I wonder if we need this. Probably we do. Alright. I'll leave that on the front. So this is going to be a Win32. It's not going to be a handle, it's going to be a window. That could be fun. We'll change that over. It's good to see you, Mad Doctor, by the way. Good to see you. Good to see you back online. So, we're probably going to be popping this inside of the structure and passing the structure back to our main, so our main can use it. The window handle itself will only be used within here, if any. No, it won't. I don't even think it's going to be used within here. We're just storing it because we're going to need it. The Windows handle is our access to the window itself through the operating system. Right, so I've got that. This is going to go, this is our interface, our public facing interface. This is what we're going to be actually using within any program. So it's like creating your own language. This is what I want to be able to write within my own program. So this defines that. This is its definition. This needs to talk to the operating system. And we can't talk to the operating system direct because it's C++. As we can see on the left hand side, it's all in C++. So we have to make this thing called a Windows 32 API, which is going to be a wrapper, I suppose, around Microsoft's API. Whatever you want to call it, I don't know what you want to call it. But it's going to contain a few files. It's going to have our Win32 window, obviously. We're going to be able to use that. But we're going to have all of this rubbish here. We're going to have events, functions, libraries, types, and of course the window itself. Why do we need all of this? Well, it's C++, isn't it? And we're using Rust. Also, you might notice these capitalized letters here on the left, like class name. And if we look down, we're going to have H instance, CW, use default. All of this stuff. We don't have this in Rust. So we're going to have to convert all of that over to Rust. So one of the first things I decided was types. Because, well, these are hash defines, to be quite honest with you, if it's in C. Yeah, we've got hash defines all over the place. Lovely, thank you, Windows API. We've also got quite a few other things in here. Alright, is that all this part does? Yeah, it is. Okay. I've got hwind, the handle to the window. It's a type. So what they've done is they've named the types. Like hwind. Let's have a look at them. I've put a few in already. So they've named the types, like hwind, handles for the window, which is equals a handle. What's a handle? A handle is a pointer to it's a void pointer. Yeah, they've named them all, so they know what they belong to. What's a p void? Or a pointer to a void? Well, in Rust, it's a pointer, mutable pointer to a C-style void which we can get from standard FFI, the standard library. Well, in the last stream I was looking at it, the standard FFI, and yeah. So all of this lot you'll find under types. If Windows data can get that. You're lurking in stream a lot. Yeah, that's okay. Game dev programming is tough to grasp. I'm an analyst. Yeah, I am as well. So my peak is Python. Oh, no worries. Python's not bad. Well, Python's okay. So these are all the different types. So this is where I got it from. So all of these are, you can look them up and it tells you what they are. And all you've got to do is track them through. You can see that I've put in quite a few. We've got handle to the brush, which is for colour. Handle to the cursor, which is this thing we wave around on the screen using the mouse. Handle to an icon, thing up in the top left or down at the bottom. We've got handle to the instance. How do you describe that? Let's have a look. So H instance. I found out what D word is, by the way. I remembered. Didn't look it up. I refused to. A handle to an instance. This is the base address of the module in memory. H module and H instance are the same today, but represented different things in a 16-bit Windows. This type is declared in windef.h as follows. So it's a type def. It's not a hash define. These are all type defs. Right, okay. They just named them all. Okay. Handle to wind. What is... Yeah, handle to a window. A long pointer. A long parameter, which is a long pointer. A long parameter, something window string, CW, LPCW. I wonder what that one is. I'm worried about these C's I keep finding. Can't remember what they are yet. So all they've done is they've named all the types. And it's confusing as hell, as you can see, because why did they choose these names type of thing? LP CWSTR. So they've got a C. Oh, constant. Oh, right, C stands for constant. Okay. A constant window string. Wide. No, constant wide string. Oh, I get you. Right, okay. We're getting there. D stands for double. D word, double word. Okay. I had to rewind my memory back about 40 years to remember why it's called the D word. And if you want to research it, you can. If you want an explanation, just ask. Okay, let's carry on through these. We've got L result, a long result, which is a lot. Yeah, okay. P void, points to a void. We don't have voids in. It's a null pointer. Basically, that's a null pointer if you're coming from C. uint, they don't. Yeah, an unsigned integer. An unsigned integer pointer. Interestingly, we call it a usize. I don't agree with that. Okay. wchar, a wide character. A wide character type. with lowercase in it. Really? Is that correct? It'll be right down the bottom, won't it? Oh, it's not in here. It's a silly one. But it's in use. Oh. That's awkward. I thought they were all in here. My apologies. If it's got lowercase in it, it isn't in here. But a W char T is just the type of a W char. Why? Why API? Why have you put that in? Well, then we've got a wide parameter. Okay. So this spans back 40 years when they named types. Why did they do that? Because in C, it's hard to work out what a type is being used for, because there aren't that many. And you can build your own types in C. And that's exactly what they've done. So for word, they've got an unsigned short word. That doesn't make sense, does it? But it's an unsigned short. If you're a C programmer, this is easier to understand. If you're a Rust programmer, it's like, WTF, why have they done all of this? It was to help the readability and trying to work out where bugs were and problems in your code are. You can find, you use it, and you're making sure that you're using the right type in the right place. Trying to make things memory safe. Did they succeed? Not so sure. Okay, I've also put in a constant. Make int resource W. Yeah, making of the integer resource W is wide, or word in this case. Yeah, it's a word. And this is returning a long pointer word string as a ulong pointer. Yeah. All this garbage. And then I've got another type here which is important. Windproc, the window procedure, which is a type. We're going to have a type for it, and it's got an option because it's an unsafe external system. It's actually a function. Should it be in here? Probably not. And this is how they use it. So they've got the variable name, and then its type. So you can see that they call their variable names similar to their types, and it gives back a long result. That's the C version. It's external, yeah, system. We're going to look more into Windproc in a couple of minutes. Oh, and by the way, Rust is easy. It's an easier language than Python. Python can it sends me around the bend. Because you start coding, you don't program it. It drives me mental. Trying to structure it into something that I can use. So these are the kind of types we're going to come across. Yeah. So now you know why I've got a file called types. Because this is going to grow. And as you can see, I've got some that aren't being used at the moment. I've just popped them in because I know I'm going to be using them. Things like the atom, the atomic, the bools, the bytes, the D words, HDC, I've forgotten. Yeah, it's a handle, I know that. God, I forgot what that means for a second. The menus, the longs, and of course a long pointer void, which is exactly the same thing as a pointer void. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of duplication going on in here. So that's your types, unfortunately. Next up, we have all the libraries that we need to access. We're going to be using the kernel32 library from Windows and the user32 library from Windows. They're on your system. It comes with the system, so those libraries are available. That's for linking, because we're going to have to link to the C libraries. We'll fill those in as we need them. There's some functionality. I've added a bit. So I've added a macro, unsafe implementation default zeroed, because we can't have a trait. So this is in place of the Rust trait default. It just zeroes out the memory. That's all it does. Nothing special. We've got a wide null, turns the Rust string slice into a null terminated UTF-16 vector. Why do we need to do that? And why have I got 3 slashes there? It's not meant to be a documentation. Right. Why do we need to do that? Because Rust doesn't have a null terminated string. What does that mean? In C, a string is represented by a string of characters, and then it adds null at the end to say, hey, the string ends here. In Rust, a string is comprised of 2 elements. It's comprised of the characters, and it's also comprised of a length. So a Rust string knows its length. It doesn't have a null at the end to say, hey, it finishes or stops here. It already knows its length. So it doesn't need it. So we have to convert them over. Yep. And that's done using this lovely piece of encode UTF, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's just using that line. I had to look that up. And this is how we access C. So we get a structure, in this case the Windows class, W. I think that's the one I want. Yes, it is. I think it is. And at the end of it, because we can't use a trait to say, hey, we want this as a default with all zeros in memory, we can unsafe implement default zeroed using our macro and just pop in the window class and it'll zero it all out for us. That's nice. It's just a handy little bit of programming. So yeah, let's get that on screen. So we're using the standard FFI. We're using the crate Win32 types because we need all of these types, as you can see. I've got a cint here. We might change that. I've taken that from the standard library. Not sure that I should have done. It just says window proc. Yeah, we're going to be using WinProc, which is why I put it in. H instance, class name. which is an LPCWS string, yeah. So a long pointer constant wide string. Yeah, which matches up with the L there for the long pointer. Yeah. Okay. So we're setting it all up so we can use this wind class, because we have to here. We have to register the window class as we're getting to. We haven't got that far yet. Events, don't have any. So we're really at the stage where I've stubbed this out because I don't know what I want yet. We're at the stage now where we can start. So basically all I've done is stub everything out. It's got no functionality at the moment, doesn't do anything. But hey ho, it's a start. And people may say, well, why are you splitting it down into all of these files? It's because I want to know what the hell's going on. If I put it all into one file, you can already see we've got 37 lines here. We're going to have quite a few here. We've already got 35 lines here. We've already got nearly 100 lines of code. And that's just in minor boilerplating. But I want this one. Right, so how do we start a window class? It defines a set of behaviors. Oh, okay. So the first thing we're going to have to do, we can't just create a window. We have to go to the the operating system. How does this all work? All right, word of warning. The Windows API and the operating system, this goes for all operating systems, don't work in the way you think. An API into your operating system is like going into a restaurant. Okay? I'm going to give you an analogy to help you understand what I'm trying to say. If you go into a restaurant and sit down at a table, a waiter will come over to you to take well, obviously you look at the menu. Here's your menu. Let's have a look at the menu. Here's our menu. So you look at the menu, which gives you all of these lovely things. Okay. All of these lovely things that you can order. Like, I want to order create window EXW. Alright. So we ask the waiter and we want to order it. They will ask us some questions then about how we want our order cooked. Maybe it's a steak. Do you want it medium rare? Whatever. Would you like sauce on that? You know, questions about it. And we answer all the questions. And we send it off. And the waiter goes off with our order. And then the chef, or the operating system in this case, who is going to be our chef, cooks it. And that takes time. It has to cook it with all of the other bits and information that we are sending in, like the window class. How did we tell the operating system how we wanted the window class to operate? How does the kitchen operate to make this dish? Okay. So he then cooks your meal, and the waiter then brings that back. and serves the meal. There's a time delay. Things do not happen instantly. So if you think of the an operating system's API, it's the same on Linux, on Mac OS. It's exactly the same kind of idea. When you ask the operating system to do something or for something, you are handing that to the waiter. The waiter then goes away, hands the information over to whoever in the operating system deals with that information, and then returns with the result. That's how you should think about this kind of API. I might just leave that up for a sec. Actually, I'll leave it on there. So when we create a window, we have a window class. This really sets the behavior that any window that we order from the operating system will have. So this gives us the Window's behavior definition. So what buttons, blah blah blah. Every window must be associated with a window class, even if your program only ever creates one instance of that class. So one window, the class itself is the instance. It controls the instance, doesn't it? A window class isn't a class in the C++ sense. It's a structure. It's a data structure that the operating system's going to store. We're going to register it. It's going to store it, and every time we ask for a window, it's going to say, "Oh, wait a minute, you registered a window class with us. How's it supposed to behave?" And this is why it takes a little while to cook and come back to us with a window. It's got to do things. So it's used internally by the operating system. The window classes are registered with the system at runtime. To register a new Windows class, fill in a window class structure. Yeah, so we need to register the window class. That's going to be our first thing, isn't it? So here. Yeah, we'll start here. Register the window class. We're started, folks. How are we going to do that? I think we're just going to run a function. Yeah. So we'll just make a function. It's not part of the window. Got nothing to do with the window. This is just its behavior pattern for the operating system. So let's just call it function. It doesn't have to be public. Window class. I don't think we're going to need much in the way of that, so let's do that. Alright. So we're going to need a constant which.rt class name equals whatever we want to call it. Alright. I have no idea how to convert from C++ into Rust. But I've got an idea that we just put in whatever it tells us. So if I put in the word const, yeah, that's fine. A which_t. Do we have one? In types. I think it's this one here. Yeah, it's a U16. We're going to need our converter. which is a wide null, to get the right hand side. Okay. Class name is in capitals. Okay. Sounds fun. Which RT? I don't think we've got a which RT. No, it's a U16. Okay, class name. I'll just call it class name. Why have I already got that there? That's going to equal our lovely function. So it's a wide null string. So a wide null string will be whatever we want to call it. So we'll call it a window class, because we're going to just call it a window class. I don't know. Call it what the hell you like. I don't think it actually matters. I'm not putting a full stop in there. That should do it. But it doesn't. Win class name. Missing type for const or static. Tell you what, let's not do that. Let's just put let. There we go. Yeah, because I don't think we need it as a const. And we get a vec of U16s. Yep, that works for me. Alrighty. Lovely. So that looks okay. So what's this? Give our class a name. Okay, let's do it. Done that. What else do we need to do now? So we're now making the window class itself. Now, if I remember rightly, we already did a wind class. I bet it's in types. No, it isn't. Damn it. Well, we're about to find out how this works. Oh. Wind class W. We're using the wide version, they're not. I think we use the wide version. Let's try that anyway. So, wind class W. I've also got wind proc up as well. Okay. So wind class W, we'll just call it Windows class as they have done. That's just a variable name. And we're going to make it equal to, well, nothing. According to them. Is that legal? No. So, how do we actually do that? In Rust, we would let WC equal that looks better. Alright, it's still not liking it. Win class W. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take off the brackets. Can't really put a default in there, can we? Ooh, that could be risky. I wonder if we don't do that. And leave it undefined. Do I check my notes? Because this is important. I think I checked my notes. If we get the window class wrong, we get everything wrong. I do have notes on this to help me out. Alright, let's pull up some notes. I've done this before, in other words. Did I get the first part right? Yeah. I don't want to do it this way. I wonder if I'm just allowed to do the default. Because I know I've got it there. If I do that, is that allowed? It is. Okay, that's fine. I want to do what they've done. If that isn't too stupid. Alright, we've got adverts coming up. What I'm trying to do is follow this in exactly the same way. I can make that a constant. Okay. I want to try and follow everything as much as possible to the original. Cannot call non-constant function wide null in constants. Right, okay. That's fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I should do some Python programming. No, don't. I know that it'll drive me insane. Right, so we've got WC. That's an unfortunate variable name. But that's what they're using. I'm going to go by this tutorial. This is, by the way, the official Microsoft tutorial. We're on learn.microsoft.com. Yeah, Microsoft has a learning tutorial area. Right, so if I look here, we've already pulled this, well, we've already told it we've got this C structure, which I've pulled out from somewhere here. Window class W. I think it's in here. Oh god, it's going to be right down at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there is an EXW. We'll go with W for now. So this is where I've got it from. All you do is you copy this. And then, I'm not sure I want them all public, but I think we have to have them all public. So that we can change them. Yeah. So we have access to them. So you can see that this is basically a copy. Take off the type def. Tag win class. I don't know what the tag's for. Alright. It's got all this stuff at the bottom which you can put in, I guess. I'm not sure if we need that. Possibly. Because it's got a star pointer to the win class, a star null pointer to the win class, and a star long pointer to the win class. That's just giving it various options, isn't it? On how you want to call upon it. I think we'll see as we go how much of that kind of stuff that we need. This structure has been superseded by the wind class EX. If you do not need to set the small icon associated with the window class, okay. Awkward. You can see now that it's problematic. You have a look at what they're telling you to do, and it tells you, oh look, it's been superseded. I think your tutorial might be out of date, but we're following the tutorial. Okay. So that tells you where I'm getting this from. And we need that there because we're about to access it. So here, we need to specify which options we want. Basically. So how we do that is WC dot, and then it comes up with all the bits and pieces because we've got it in our functions. Functions and structs, that should really be, because this is a structure. And we're going to take LPFN WindProc. So if we go down to LPFN WindProc, and we're going to make that equal to WindProc. Yeah, where the hell does that come from? So that's your Windows procedure. We're going to have to type it in for now. Don't think we've got that somehow. Where are we going to get a window proc from? Well, we need to write one. So LPFN WindProc is a pointer to an application-defined function called the window procedure or window proc. The window procedure defines most of the behavior of the window. For now, this value is a forward declaration of a function. For more information, see writing the Windows procedure. So we haven't even got to that stage of the tutorial. So we can't actually fill that in currently. Yeah. Writing the Windows procedure. Can I put in a... Okay, it's a callback. For the messaging system. Which is an event. Yeah, it's an event. So it's in here. Which is slightly blank. What are we going to call it then? Now, I've been messing around in my mind on what we can do here. Because the standard way of doing this is just to put in any kind of procedure you want as a callback for the operating system. This is how the operating system sends us events so that we can manage events like mouse movement, keyboards, window resizing, painting the background of the window, that kind of thing. All we have to do is make sure that we follow whatever it tells us to follow. It has to have the same signature. It doesn't have to have the same name. I want to try something. I want to try something new. We've got an event system here, so if I set up a structure, it'd have to be a public structure, wouldn't it? Yeah. If I set up a structure, Win32 event, for instance, and then I set up an implementation for it. Is this legal? And then in here, I put a window proc in. Yeah, you're just telling us how to do that, but... Okay, let's go with whatever you say. You want an L result back, do you? Okay. We can do that. I'm just going to call it window proc. I'm just going to follow whatever they're doing here. You can't really do that. Public. Is it going to be a... Yeah, I'm going to use a public function. We're going to call it I'll just call it window prop. Did it need a void pointer or not? I don't know. Alright, all their types and stuff are the wrong way round. Functions. Let's just have a look at that. I'll probably put it in here. Yeah, I have. It's an option, isn't it? So it's this one. I have to make sure. I wonder if I can just put wind proc in here for now. Long pointer to a function. It's the window procedure. I'll think about that. Can I just put in that? Expected value, found type alias. Okay, can't use a type alias as a constructor. Didn't think so. Okay, I'm going to look at my notes because I don't want to mess this up, as I said before. Some window procedure. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense. How did I make a window procedure? Don't know. I know it has to come through a separate window. Alright, because it's got to come through here. So we would be looking at, the first thing is, let's get rid of that. Expected semicolon. All right. Oh no, I'm doing it differently. Silly me. Don't do that. I don't think I'm allowed to do this. Yeah, we've got an alias there. We're going to need a window procedure. Somewhere. Alright, we'll pop it here then. Procedure, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. There you go. Right. how do we make a window procedure? It has to have these things in it. Yeah. And return an L result. Okay. So it has to have all of this lot in it, which it can't do, because we need types. God, it's really not liking this, is it? We're going to make that into an L result. Okay. We don't have an H-wind or a W-param, a U-wind and stuff like that. We do. Oh, wait a minute, it hasn't done it properly. It's just put L... yeah. Okay. We don't have an L result. Oh, yes we do. We just haven't made one. So, L result is a longer result. What type is that? It's a long pointer. Eye size. Okay. Expected value, found type, alias, L result. Right, okay. Can I just put a 0 in here for a second? Yes, I can. Lovely. Unused. Okay, that's fine by me. Am I allowed to access this? It will be in events. I've got window funcs wide null. Types, funcs twice. Okay. We're using supers or crates. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Okay. If I want an event, I'm going to have to take in a Win32, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Okay, we'll tab that one. Okay. that would give me... Oh, God. Interesting. Ah, yeah, so Win32 event, yeah. Window procedure. Ah. Nice. Don't want the last bit. But that's not right. I wonder how I did my Windows procedure. Like that. Alright. That's interesting. Gotcha. If I pop you into events, there, this now goes a bit nuts. Because I don't think we can do that. That's a type win proc. Okay, we'll leave that alone. I don't think we can make it an implementation. What I'll do then is we'll just take it out for a sec. I need it to work first of all. And I don't think it wants to work. Okay, this is not going to be easy, is it? It needs a library. Oh, right. For system. I've got to be very careful how I do this. Yeah, we just put a 0 in. Right, okay, I got that one right. We need a library. Yeah. So this is complaining that we don't have a library. A system library. Def win proc W. external system yet. Where is it then? Window procedure. I know about this one. No, it's not in that lot. I've got a feeling it's this one here. This is rather difficult to work out. It can't find the system. Okay. It's understandable. I'm trying to think on how I want to do this. And again, the awkward thing is setting this up in this way could be a little bit awkward. Would need a Win32. We're going to need a libs. Let's try funcs as well. Alright. I'm not sure what we're going to need at this point. We don't have anything in our libraries at the moment. How do we get all of this to work? Type lib struct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. God, this is... It is this. Ugh. It needs to be able to find this in the systems. Okay. Which one does it go in? According to this, it goes in user 32. Okay. That will need types. Everything needs types. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna cut that out for a sec. See how they all switch off. Okay, we'll switch that off for a second. I've got a better idea. Let's not put that in. Not sure I want to put that in either. Okay. They're just putting window proc. Where is that coming from? One of the problems we have is that we don't have win main. The win main function where some of this stuff might be coming from. Which would be the C or C++ entry point for this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to work around that at the same time. Alright, we're just going to have to ignore it. Null pointer or something? An LPFW. So an LP doesn't like that. Expected a value. It's an I size. Integer. Well, what's wrong with 0? Definitely not. I don't have a H instance. I do have a class name. Okay. Right, let's try them all. I'm spending too long on these because I don't have the answers at this point. So that equals something. We know that. Alright. WC, we need the H instance. We don't have that. Okay. And then we need a WC dot LPSZ, long pointer size class name. All right. that's going to equal class name. See if that works. Okay, to do. And it doesn't. Expected row pointer star const u16 found struct vec u16. So we can't do it this way. Do we have to do that? Okay, so this kind of stuff isn't working. Alrighty. Okay. This is normal for me, don't worry. Let's try it a different way then. So it would be a wind class W. We would need a dot default. Okay. We'll probably need a semicolon. That works. Okay. Let's try the LPSZ class name. That would be a colon, and then we would need class name. And we've still got a mismatch of types. Star const u16. Have I got this up already? No. You can see how complicated this is. We don't want main. Don't need readme. Windows functions. Outputs a vector of u16s. God, this is confusing as hell. Sorry, but it is as confusing as hell. Really? Yes. We're going to need to get the module handle. So to get our H instance, because we don't have Win main, we have to do that and get it from the system. That's interesting. Which is a core pointer null. That's going to cause problems. Get module handle W is somewhere. I'm just going to look it up, aren't I? It's under kernel 32. Okay, we'll pop this one in then. Yeah, I know it's unsafe. I've already put unsafe here. Dealing with these things. Okay. Got the functions. What I'm trying to do is pull this in from the system kernel. How will it look it up? It can't find it. Quick fix. Import super Win32 libs get module handle W. Gotcha. Let's import it then. Alright. It's now working, it's now picking it up. I'm going to ignore events and types for a second. So to get these libraries, it says it's unused. Silly system. Is never used. It blooming well is. Right. So to get these, you have to go to your class. So in this case it's get module handle wide, which is right at the top. hold on a minute. It isn't. And it's not a structure, so it's hiding. Lovely. You have to find it. Where is it then? So it's in docs. libloader. Okay. libloader API. So it's in a different section. Godfathers. Okay. So you have to find it within the documentation. Absolutely fantastic. Windows API, why are you so funny? We need to register this. Okay. It looks as though we can do it this way then. I'm very suspicious about it. It's not mutable. Cannot mutate immutable variable. Yes, I think we're not going to be doing that way then. I don't want to start making things mutable. Sorry. Alright, so we've been able to set that bit. We'll put in the other bits as well. So the LPF wind proc. Okay, we'll pop you in. Not going to put anything in there yet because I don't know what I want to put in there. And the H instance, we do have that now, so the H instance can now go to is that correct? Just H instance. Oh boy. It's not going to tell me. Yes, it is correct. Okay. Because we called it the same goddamn thing up above. Confusion. Can we call it something different? It's a handle. Yes, we can call it something different. I just don't like doing something matches the same goddamn thing. I need a bit more clarity in my life of where things are coming from. Okay, so the only thing we're missing is this Windows procedure. Okay. We can't do the Windows procedure until we actually make one. We'll try and make one at some point. Okay. Now we need to register the class. Pass the address of the Wind class structure to the register class function. This function registers the window class with the operating system. Sounds fair. So we're going to be doing register class, aren't we? I don't think we've got a register class. Do we have a... Oh, we do have a register class. Which one are we using? W? So it's an atom register class W, blah blah blah. That's its syntax. Yeah, remarks. And it's in user 32. So user 32, we need to register a class. This is where I become slightly uncertain again, because I think we just copy that. Wind class W. Where are we going to get Wind class W from? Did I already put that inside of our types? No. This is what we want here. Public function, register class W. Function. Register class W comes up. Open brackets, and it's taking in a constant Wind class W. A pointer to Wind class W structure. I have to be careful which way round to do this, don't I? Got nothing here. I'm just going to put in star LP. wind class. And then it's going to be WND class W. And that comes from a function. Yeah. There's no out. Doesn't like this part. Missing type for function parameter. Okay. It's a star const. So we can't put the star there. Does that make sense? Yeah, we've got the star, we've got the const. Oh my god. The interpretation from C++ into Rust is a little tricky. Okay. How do we use it? We use it in the following way. We use it directly. Gotcha. We're checking for an error on this one. Okay. So here we should now be able to place in register class W. It's asking me for an LP wind class, which is WC. So it just needs a reference. Yeah. And it's saying no. Call to unsafe function is unsafe and requires an unsafe function or block. Alright. So what it's saying is that I think yeah, it is. Right, okay. You might notice I'm not doing exactly what I've got in my research. I'm trying my best to go with what we've got here. It's unsafe because we're going into the operating system, which isn't in Rust. So that makes sense. Can we just format the document slightly? Thanks. Okay, once I've done that, we're done. There's no return value. We do need to complete that, obviously. But we can call it, right. Now we need to create a Win32. Alright, now we're in here. So this is create the window. I'm hoping I'm getting most of this right. Yeah, you never know, do you? So we've got a H-wind. So this is a let. And it's handle to the window. Equal. And now we need the create window EXW. Yeah. We don't have it. Okay. Let's go find that. That's in a library. You can see how this works now. Sort of. Alright. This is where the fun starts. I'm going to go with this one. It's a function. And it's got all of this stuff in it. So what you do is you copy this out into your functions. It comes from somewhere. The User32 library. So let's add it to the User32 library first of all, which is this one. So you need its signature, which is, you're going to love its signature. That's its signature. So I'm going to cheat a little here because I know I've got it typed out. That's its signature. There you go. As you can see, it'll match. We need D words, C ints. Yeah, they're just ints here. That's why I put C ints in there. So under types, we need a D word, we need a C int. Import C int. How are you going to do that? Alright, you're asking for which one? We'll go with standard FFI. Alright, that's fine. That gets rid of those. D word, H menu, LP void. So D word. H menu is a handle. LP void is a null pointer. Okay. That should satisfy our library. Alright, I'm happy with that. Do we need to construct anything? This is a function call. Is that a straight function call? It is. Is that function now available to us? It is. And it's got all of this stuff in it. Okay. That's lovely. So we have to convert this over. I think we'll just take that out for a second, shall we? I've got a feeling about this. Because we're not allowed to do that. We have to put in all the rest of the bits, don't we? Let me just pop this down. Yeah, all of these items we have to provide. Somehow. Okay. So DWEX style. I see. Right, so these are variable names. These are all variable names. Lovely. Yeah, I see. So let's have a look at this. What do we need? Size and position. Okay, class. So that's a 0. According to that, is that illegal? No, I just think we put 0 here. Oh, it's unsafe. Yeah, so we just put a 0 in. One sec, can I actually do it the other way? No, I just have to put a 0 in. Okay. I don't like doing that. And now it doesn't like it. Oh, for God's sake. Oh. Because I took that off. Alright. LP class name is our class name. That's here. Okay. That's going to be a VAC U16. We need our class name. So can we have that back, please? Yeah, lovely. Okay, we've got that, so we can put that in here. It's a pointer, so we just put in class name dot as pointer, I guess. Yep, we do. LP window name. We can put anything we want in here. It's a pointer. And it's an L. It's one of these L thingies. So it's one of these. It's a wide null. But as a pointer. Gotcha. So it's this. But as a pointer, an LP, correct. You can see how this goes, can't you? DW style. WS overlapped window. Okay. We don't have this kind of thing. That's a constant. That's a hash define. So we need a type. I think we're going to put constants at the top. So what we're looking for is something like a public const. We're going to need a few of these, aren't we? So WS underscore overlapped window. The reason it's coming up is because I've got something open with it in it. I've got something open here with that word in. And that's going to have to equal something. Now that will be WS Windows System, possibly. That's going to be a hex value. It's a bits. It's a bit flag. And it can be ORed together with other things. How do we find that? Interestingly, it's not in there. It's not in there. It'll be in there. Right, so we have to define it. So it's this lot. That's the final. We want that in our types. But you can see that it's a set of bit flags. All U32s in hex. So the overlapped window is all of these ones ORed together. And this tells the window to use all of this. Menus, captions, thick frame, minimize box, maximize box. These things up in the top, that's minimize, that's maximize. I think does it come up? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay. Where do these come from? Win32. Okay. Create a window with a title bar. The three flags located in the upper right corner of the image indicate which system buttons will appear. Yeah. That's a tutorial. WinUser.h. Ah, they're all here. So this is window styles. Ba 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 bum. Ba 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 bum. Pop it in here. So window styles. We do need this because there's child windows and things to sort out at some point. I'm not putting every single one of these in. There's a few of them. But I do want the reference. Now I found it. So there we go. That's you done. Magic. So these all come so overlapped. WS overlapped. So you come down here, overlapped, and it's an L. That means long, which means it's 2 times a 16-bit, which is a 32-bit. Simple. Ignore the L on the end because that just means U32 to us. Okay, so it's all the zeros. Yeah, caption. So caption is 00C. 00C. All you do is you just copy the number that it gives it and take the L off the end, basically, and call it a U32. Pretty straightforward. That's a nice easy conversion. Okay. But now I should have WS overlapped window. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Now we come to something a bit weird. X and Y. This is the position of the window when it's shown to us. Right. And it's using CW. Use default for the next 4 things. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all CW use default. Again, it's a type. It's another one of these. Ah. So what's CW use default? Again, you're going to have to look this up. Constant Windows user use default. Okay. Oh, good. So it's that one, that. Where does that come from? Let's find it. I want the references. I would like the references, please. Where has that come from? Parameters. Yeah. Yeah, we're on creating a window at the moment. Thank you. Default positions. Yes, I know it does. Where are these shown? Is it within... I bet it's within the actual function, isn't it? CW, yeah. But where are they? Where are these parameters given to us? Windows style values. Takes us back to here, but there's no CWs here, is there? No. Why have we not got a link to these? So that's the Windows procedure module rubbish. La 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 la. Doesn't seem to give us a link through to CWs for some reason. Why? Creating a window and full descriptions of other parameters. See more. I bet it's in create window. This is just similar stuff, isn't it? Oh dear. Alright, let's go to the basic then. I do love it when they do this to us, but you know, it's one of those things. No, it just puts in these things. Okay. I can see what the value is. It says it here. And we're having to swap it over to a C-int from a U32. Okay. I'd like to know why. Yeah. Da, 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 da. It's interesting how this is hidden. It's in the header file. Again. It doesn't tell us. It's in the header file. I think we have to look that up in the header file. Oh my god. You're joking me. Oh no. Yeah. I'll open this one. This is C, isn't it? Da, 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 da. Let's try Windows. .h. Go to document. Okay. Hello? You're not allowed to do that. Okay. Can't that view code? We can't open it. Okay. Why can't I open it? It's in Windows.h, I believe. It could be in one of the subheader files. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's that. Windows default location for newly created form. And how does OS? Yeah. Yeah, I know it can. Yeah, okay. But you're not telling us what it is, or where it is. Where do we get that value from? Okay. It's just a dev blog. And then a load of garbage. Lovely. This is going to take some searching. What the hell? Yeah, but you don't tell us what you are. You see, here's the thing. Anything will do, yeah. No, not that one. That's Rust. I want some C++. Thanks. Alright. So if I type into C++ hash include Windows, there it is. Okay, and then I type in CW underscore use default. I don't even know what it is. Identifier is undefined. So that says it's undefined. Oh, there you go. Expands. So it tells us in C++ what the number is. Wow. So that's how I'm going to have to do it. It's the easiest way to do it. I'll be honest. Gives you the number, doesn't it? Search online. Really? It's in winuser.h. It's hash define. It's also got a few other defines in here, hasn't it? A few more magic numbers. Lovely. So it's in the middle of this. It's at line 4404 in winuser.h is the only answer I can give you at this point in time. Sorry, it's the best I can do. But that's how you get the number. If you don't know how to get these numbers, you're in trouble. I use Visual Studio. You can use anything, really. To be honest. Just create a dummy C project. Huh. Don't save. Thanks. No idea what that is. That's .NET. Okay. So we've now got this, which means we can fill in X, Y, width. No, I want to put a width in. What is width? It's a cint. Can I just put a value in? Like 800? Yeah. Will it allow that? Yeah, of course it will. Height? 600. Yeah, we can do that. Window parent doesn't have one. That's a 0. It's going to have to be null. Null. We need a null. We don't have a null. This is not null. You can't have nulls. What can we use? What can we use for null? Don't have any nulls here. We can use a C void. Probably. It's not a null pointer though. I think it's just a C void. Yeah, we're in a language that doesn't have null. Alright, so we've placed the window, we've got its thing. We don't have a parent, it's null. I don't want a menu, that's null. The H instance, oh, we know that. Oh, that's here. Ollocks. A C void. A star C void. I think that's a null. Interesting. I'll try putting it in. Star C. That's a pointer we're passing back. Be careful. Okay. I don't think we're allowed to do that. All right. Expected mut or const. Okay. Cannot find type C void in this scope. Pardon? You're right, you can't. Import C void from FFI. It's accepted it. What's wrong with my pointer now? Oh right, we've got a tuple coming in. Okay. So this would be H instance and class name. So handle instance and class name. Do I need to unwrap that or something? No. We do need to add it here. Okay. So now we do have a H instance. That does feel like a null pointer. You don't want the mute. Expected comma. Found a keyword. I'm uncertain of this null value thingy. Let's find out what I've used in the past. Come here. Why can't I get a hold of this? Oh, it's here. What's going on? Core pointer null mute. Seriously? I would never have guessed that one. Sorry. I'm glad I looked it up. So this becomes this little baby. WTF. The menu I don't want. Additional application data I don't want at this time. We might do later on. And the H instance is our handle instance. My God, that was painful. There you go. And at this point, we need coffee. And I think you can understand why. So I've managed to convert it all over. We do need to use a C++ dodgy thing to look through Windows what these CW things are. I might need to make a note about that. What do we need to keep hold of? I have no idea. We've still got missing information, have we? Yes, we have. Okay. But we've got somewhere. That's what it looks like in Rust. That's what it looks like in C++. That's what it looks like in Rust. And on that note, I'm going to go grab a coffee. That was painful. But Godfathers, we've done it. So, we've spent 2 hours rummaging, well, 2.5 hours rummaging through the Windows API documentation, scanning around the internet, trying to get the details together, and then trying to understand a way of converting it into Rust. I bet you're glad I did all the work previously, so we sped that up. First time I did this, it took me a day to get this far. Yeah. Second time I did it, it took me about 4 hours. So we've broken a record, we're down to 2.5, but we are using reference material that I've done previously, just to speed things up. But that's it, we've created a window. We're just missing one item of information which you don't get yet. I know it's a bit weird, but you just don't get it. So the next stage is to start cleaning this up. We've got to leave the window procedure till probably last, because that's where it comes along. I'm not really sure how it fits in at this stage, and I don't seem to be able to create a false one. So I'm not going to try. Otherwise we'll be there going down a rabbit hole for another hour or so. If you've never done the Windows 32 API, I'd advise you to read through everything before starting. Especially the Learning Centre, all these pages. Definitely read through it, see if you understand it, and if you don't understand it, give me a shout. More than happy to explain parts of it to people that struggle. And I mean, I struggle with it still, but this is after what, like the 50th time I've done this? I do it in most languages, the ones that can cope with it anyway. Right, I'm going to make me coffee. if we can run that. We can't without that piece of information. I can put a placeholder in, can't I? Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to put a placeholder in. Alright. Let window handle. Right, it's never been used. Okay. Do we need to do anything else here? Create the window. We've used EXW. Okay. We seem to have got it right. Or we're satisfied Rust that we've got it right. Okay. Okay. There's the complete. And you've got show window at the bottom. That's where you use the window handle. And the command show. Alright. Why don't you tell... here we go. Show window function. Okay. That's in the user 32 lib. It returns a bool. Okay. Might help if we have that. Do we want to show it? I know I want to keep hold of the window handle. Alright. So let's start doing the structure. So the window handle. I want to keep. I don't want to call it the same thing, do I? That is a star mute. I don't like doing it this way. This doesn't look right. C void. That's never going to fly, is it? Oh, it just did. There you go. I would also probably... I don't think I need to keep the class name. So that would be the window handle. So the instance handle would be same kind of thing, according to that. I think I would like to keep those two, the instance handle and the window handle. How do I want to do this? You're gonna force me into doing that, aren't you? So the window handle, the instance handle, yeah, you are going to force me into doing this kind of stuff, aren't you? Okay. Let's make this into something that's usable, at least. Again, I've got a problem here with the way I've typed it in. Alright, they're never used. Probably never will be. They call that H-Win, don't they? Ugh. I don't think I want this. I'm not sure about any of what I'm doing at this point. This is just me trying to prepare for the future, I guess. Format the documents, get rid of my mistakes. We're not using events yet. Okay. We're not using window handle. Alright. But that's how you create a window. It is saying show window. User 32 it said, didn't it? Yeah, it does. So it's going to be a public function. Yeah, defprop window W. Okay, I'll think about it as we get there. It's show window. Open brackets. What do we got? A bool. Alright. Looks like we already have bools up and running, do we? No, we don't. We do now. Yeah. So how do we do this? Well, the first one's easy. It's the handle for the window. H-Wind. That's a H-Wind handle window type. Okay, this is looking okay. Then we've got an int and n command show. Command show. Well, that's how it should look. That type is an int. We can't use an int. We have to use a cint. I like that. That should work. Should work. Ah-ba-da-ba-doo. So here we can put in show window. We need the hwind, which is hwnd now, and the command show. Which isn't that. There is a hash define for it. Where are they getting end command show from? They're getting that from WinMain, which we don't have. Because we're not in C. So we can't use end command show. We are gonna have to use the Windows system underscore show. Aren't we? We have to convert that to something else. Oh, it's an SW, sorry. SW show. Value 5. Oh, I think we can do that. Alright, let's try that. So under types, SWs, we've got CWs here. Okay, let's get these in some kind of order, can we? So that's CW. SW would go between. So it's a public const. This is yeah, so it says end command show. It tells you all about it here. So show window SW. So SW underscore show. I'll just pop that in. It's going to be a cint. And it's going to be equal to 5. Yeah, it literally is as simple as that. You just got to find the correct menu and values and stuff. So activates the window and displays it in its current size and position. Lovely. So we'll use SW show, shall we? And that replaces an end command show, which is what they asked us to give. So I'll just pop you into here. End command show becomes that. Does that work? No. Unsafe. Quick fix. Add an unsafe block. We're calling to the operating system. Now it works. Yeah, we have to do that for every single time that we use anything out of the operating system. We are going to have to set it up in that kind of format. You're probably thinking to yourself by now, you're going to start getting a lot of this stuff, aren't you? Yeah. Absolutely. I've got to work this out. So that'll show the window. If we run this, by the way, we should get a flashing window come up and a lot of clippy errors. Yeah. we'll take that out for a minute. For now. Try and clean this up a little bit. We've got one that isn't used. We don't really need it at this point, do we? So if I do that, I think we can get rid of all of this now. I can't run it because of that one line. There's a way around this. What this does is I need to give it a default. Within the Windows operating systems, there is a default Windows procedure for handling events. I wonder if that will default. It should crash. That should crash. Please tell me it crashes. Alright, I've got one here. Okay. Don't care about that one. We've got 4 here. A resource. Maybe that's what we've missed. Okay. We've only got a couple down here that aren't important at this stage, are they? Because it's here. Yeah, unused. One here, because we haven't got to it. We need to get to it somehow. Yeah. Did I put the proc in here? No, I didn't. Oh, this is the Windows procedure. Just wondering if I could just transport that over. Ah. How would we do that? How can we transport that over successfully without everything blowing up? It might be something I'll look into properly. I want to give a good explanation for how I'm doing it. I don't want to do that bit by trial and error, because it's the most important part of that, because it's a callback. So it's disjointed. Tell you what we'll do. This is going to be awful. Cargo. Clipping. You're just going to tell me that we've got all of this stuff that contains a capitalized acronym. Oh my god. Most of this is coming from types, isn't it? I wonder. would be a pling, wouldn't it? If it's a macro. Clippy, you not with me? Is it hash Clippy? Why have I got no Clippy? Okay. Where's Clippy gone? I don't know. I don't know where Clippy's gone. Alright, we'll just ignore it then. That is a mess. That is just such a mess. Consider making Ackerman lower. Oh. Need to switch this off. Dead code. Yeah, okay. Because it's hiding the dead code. Oh, I do hate that. Never mind. It has to be addressed though, at some point. Let's try it out. Hangs. Oh, process didn't exit successfully. There you go. Told you we needed that window process. Without it, it can't do anything. That's correct. Wow. Target debug dev Win32. Yeah, exit code. Yeah. It just says it didn't exit successfully. It doesn't tell us where the error came from. I know where the error is, but that's beside the point. Yeah. There's your error. Without it, we're registering a class that's incomplete, and you need that. That is priority. You have to put that in. It can't just put a 0 in there, which is what I've just told it to do. Really is good fun, isn't it? Working with the Windows 32 API. Yeah, I know. Oh, right. Well, I think we're done. I think that's part 1 done. We've got as far as we can get with the structure that I've given it, and I've got to now go away and start thinking about, do we need this Windows handle? Do we fill this in? Do we just get rid of it? What do we do with it all? And how do I get me Windows procedure to work? That'll be interesting. Or can I put a default in? Would I have to make something equal to that? No, that's a function. It all comes from here. And I can't put that in. That I know of, anyway. Okay. All of these unsafes, by the way, you can get rid of them. Well, sort of. We need to talk about that. Unsafe. What does it mean? It means that whatever we are calling could cause an error. So in these libraries where it's saying unsafe, if it's returning an integer, in this case a long pointer, so I can't show that, that's got no return type. So that's safe. If it's returning an integer, it's safe. An L result isn't an integer, it's a pointer. So we can't do anything with that. This doesn't return anything, does it? Yes, it does, a hwind, which is a handle. Oh, God. This is why I don't like the types that they use. Which is a pointer, so we can't have safe. But this one is safe. You can put that in. There's no error. And if there is an error, it's handled by the operating system, not us. Whereas where it's passing stuff back that isn't an integer, I wish that was. Oh, it is. So that one's safe. You could type it in, safe, and use it as a safe function. Because if you noticed, it's coming up as unsafe here. Yeah. But I think it messes things up a little. So I'm not going to put it in. I'll leave that as unsafe. Because then you have to start putting it in unsafe and safe for every single one. All it does is it removes the block around it. It's your choice whether you want to go that far into it or not. I prefer to leave them as unsafe because if I accidentally go anywhere near them, then Rust will pick up on it and tell me, hey, you're using unsafe functions, you know, be careful, type of thing. But do I think they're unsafe? No. But I can't guarantee it. Because if I put the word safe in, I'm then, as a programmer, guaranteeing that that is safe. And it's not my program. It's Microsoft's. So I'm not willing to guarantee their stuff. Not yet, anyway. Until we can prove it works. Right, I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to read up more on WinProcs. So we can get ready for our next bit. I think there is a bug in the first unsafe block since class name gets dropped when Win32 Windows create function returns and the pointer you gave is not valid anymore. Oh. Interesting. No. I get you. I get what you're saying. Because I put a star here. Alright. I understand. Now if this was C, I would agree with you. Straight off. We are returning it. I can't return it as a C void, can I? I can. To make a copy. Yeah, I think what you're saying is probable. How can we not do that? Because we've got a core pointer null. We're dealing with Rust, which doesn't have that kind of thing. We could pass back a core pointer null. Jesus. I'm getting you. I'm getting what you're saying now. Oh. H instance. Here's the problem. What we have here is a H instance. Alright. That's what we've got. And a H instance is a handle. And a handle is a P void. A P void is star mute C underscore void. It types out to the same, exactly the same thing. As you can see. Yikes. Interesting though. Is that a valid type to be passing? We could dereference it. But it's already being dereferenced. No. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that is a possible error. The class name in a static, yeah. Oh, the class name doesn't matter. I'm not really bothered about that. I'm not really bothered about these return values at this stage. Because even if you store it in the Win32 struct, the struct itself can be moved, and then the pointer is invalid again. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Part of Rust is to avoid the idea of dangling pointers. So it should warn me against doing anything completely stupid that's going to mess things up. At the moment, we're not getting the warnings because we're not really doing much. So, yeah, I think that you're quite right. There's a lot of problems with what I've written. Absolutely. What I can do is take this code here, cut it out, and paste it here. And that will avoid any problems at all with the transportation of a, whatever this thing is, handle to an instance. I'm going to leave that one back, actually, if I can. Because I want to know that it's a problem. I don't want it hidden behind words. You used unsafe. You promised you are going to handle it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're jumping ahead of the gun a little bit, don't you think? Yeah. So unsafe, you must handle the unsafeness of it. Correct. Doesn't help class name gets... Ah, right, you're just trying to pick faults with everything because you haven't realised we've only just started this. That's fine. Okay, this is the prototype. You know, catch up, Silent. You're going... you're racing ahead slightly. Currently, we're still prototyping, seeing what we can do, what we can't do. So all of the stuff that you're talking about, yeah, I don't disagree with it, but I want to try and see what we can do first before I start going back over it, cleaning it up and putting all this stuff that you're talking in. VEC Q16 is a Rust type with drop implementation. Yeah, you're just spamming rubbish now, mate. You've obviously never developed software before. Okay. So we have some functions. We have some code. Let's see what we can do. Sorry, Silent, but you're just far out there. It's not how you develop code. Not if you're programming, anyway. You take it one step at a time, you find out what works, and then you start making sure that you've done everything correct. You don't jump in and write everything absolutely 100% correct straight off. That's really would take me a week just to write this one, you know, one file. And we only have 3 hours, so we'll see how it goes, how it develops. And yes, it is going to change. All of my stuff changes over time as I go back into this is a development area where we can mess about with the code. We can find out what works, what doesn't work. We can find out what we need to handle, all the errors, everything like that. That's what this is about. The base code, I think we've got it. I think we've got some base code now. And I'm going to go away and work on this one line. So that's how we're going to do develop stuff. In the meantime, I'd like you all to have some fun this lovely, lovely weekend, and I'm going to get off and do some research. Yeah. Have we done what we set out to do? Create a window. I'm not ticking that because I can't confirm that we have created a window. We've got some code unfinished. We'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I want you all to take care. Thanks for popping by, and I hope things go okay.